I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. But if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law.
While it's certainly not panic stations yet, it is starting to get to that point. The Vodacom Bulls have lost back-to-back games in Ireland. They now find themselves with a new challenge in the Welsh capital against Cardiff Rugby. The defence has been poor, the attack has been toothless, but in my opinion, it's not a question of will this team turn things around, it's a question of when. The second question being, can Jake White and his Chargers turn their campaign around tonight? It's an incredible opportunity for us to do that, and while Cardiff are certainly not a cakewalk, they are not the Irish juggernaut of a Connacht or a Leinster. Welcome to Bullseye TV, wherever you are, wherever you may be listening. My name is Mark Nincaro. I'm joined as always, Kulikan Hlongwane.
As Mark, no, not an Irish giant indeed, but they are Welsh giants in their own right, we must say that. But good evening to all the Loftus faithful, to you, Marcus, to the people watching at home. It is a huge game, for sure it is. Jake has made 8 changes to this team, which is so big, and I think those 8 changes are the changes that we all wanted to see, in terms of ability. Sharks won yesterday, an SA team finally won a game.
Stormers almost won.
Stormers almost won. Lions almost won. So that must, and the Boks won last week. So that must just set some sort of precedence in the minds of our boys. So I'm keen to watch, boy, and let's go, boy.
Yeah, well, we can't look ahead before we look behind us. And speaking of that Connacht game, before we jump into that, Jake White had a little bit to say about that game and about touring in general.
The interesting thing about this competition, I think out of the first 2 rounds, there have been the 3 away game wins. And the 3 away game wins, 2 were in Zebra and 1 was against Dragons and Leinster, which in itself, Leinster, as we've said, is one of the strongest teams in Europe. So if you consider, that means, 88% of the teams have won at home. And that, again, just proves the point how tough it is for any team to even play away from home. I think, again, to get 2 Irish teams straight up like we did, Connacht and Leinster, is always going to be a tough ask for a tour. You're talking about consistency. Can Leinster top team in Pro 14 or Magnus League or Celtic League? You talk about Connacht, who won this competition a couple of years back, and you're talking about an Irish system that's very, very strong.
Well, Connacht did win a few years ago, but I thought we got off to an incredible start against Connacht last week. Zuckerberger makes the line break. We look switched on within 2 minutes. Lizo Koboka bursts over, scores a try. We've said that starting quick has been an issue that's plagued this team going back to the Colin Currie Cup. It was an incredible start. We were talking about winning by 20 points at that stage.
Yeah, it was. We thought that the comments were coming in, all the faithful telling us, 40, 30 points. And obviously it didn't end up being that. But in the first half, we were so dominant, weren't we? Physically, at set piece time, finally, we found the dominance we've just been crying out for all season long, haven't we, Marcos? And then, it's just a couple of things just went against us, Marcos.
We were the dominant team in that first half, and I think that's what made that loss such a bitter pill to swallow. I thought we were the better team on the park, honestly, and I thought we were unlucky to go into the sheds 3 points down. We were better on attack. Defensively, we were putting in the hits. Physically, we were the dominant team.
Game plan was working, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they come out in the second half and they score back-to-back tries, similarly to what happened against Leinster. And now we're playing catch-up rugby, 2 converted tries down. We actually, Jake White spoke about this, we're playing uphill, the pitch slopes in Connacht, so we're playing uphill with the rain pelting, and that second half was it was a failure. It was a total implosion.
Yeah, it was a complete capitulation, wasn't it, in the second half? Yes, the elements were against us, Mark, but with that said, we really lost our dominance at set-piece time. The elements don't go against you at set-piece time. If your line-out throw can't find your jumper at scrum time, if you can't, get over, if you can't get that tight head early on or get that initial hit, it does go against you. And it just felt like at some point, Marcus, we just lost our energy, we lost our gas, we were huffing and puffing. It was just so hard to watch, Mark.
But one point about it was the refereeing interpretations, and I know a lot has been said about this, but I thought that the breakdown was reffed differently depending on what jersey you were wearing. And the one comment or the one part of the game I want to chat about was the Lizo Gqoboka obstruction. In my opinion, that was not a try. I understand that perhaps Lizo doesn't make that tackle. He is an athletic prop. I think he would have, but that's not up to me to decide. That's irrelevant. The question is, did Alton Delane change his angle and prevent Lizo from getting in a legitimate, rightful position to make that tackle? And I believe he robbed Lizo of that opportunity. Therefore, Mac Hansen's try should have been erased.
100%, Mark. We were losing our minds a bit in studio last week because of the breakdown penalties that were going against us when we had the ball in hand. And it just got that Lizo Gqoboka, that challenge. Yes, Lizo, got obstructed, and yes, you can give the ref the benefit of the doubt if the lock is you know what I mean? It's not breaking. If it's accidental, whereas this one was just a complete. This man dropped in the left shoulder. I mean, come on.
Well, let's skip ahead to lineups, and I want to start with this Cardiff Blues lineup. And there's a few names that will pop off the sheet to you. I think the obvious one is Josh Navidi. He's the superstar in my opinion in that pack. He's a British and Irish lion in his own right. He's a phenomenal player. Reece Carey, the loose head, is you can't miss him. He's 6'3", 131 kgs. He's an absolute slab of granite. But it's that back line that's really dangerous. Reece Priestland, he was the incumbent Welsh fly half a number of years ago. Ray Lilo, he's the guy that gets you consistently over that advantage line. And in the backs, Hallam Amos and, of course, Josh Adams. I mean, he is just a superstar at left wing. So that's the Cardiff rugby lineup. KK, why don't you take us through that Bulls lineup?
Yeah, excited to see your that back three, Mark, was coming up against our back three. Yeah, in our team, Mark, we speak of guys like Sim Matanzima coming in, finally getting a start in this huge competition. We know what he can do with ball in hand and around the park and the scrum time. And then in the locks, we've got Janko coming back in. We're pairing with Ruan Nokia, and an 8th man, we've got the big man Ulrich Loh, who's been, probably one of the first men on the team sheet, I reckon, for Jake. In the back line, I'm loving to see Emi Papier coming in at 9. We'll be partnering up with Goose, and then the back three, Marcos. I look at my back three, you look at that team's back three, and it's unbelievable. You've got Davy Krill, Madosh Tambwe, and Kurtley Aronson, explosive, electric.
Well, let's before we jump into some of those changes, Jake White had a bit to say, especially about the pitch. That's been a big talking point this week, playing on a 4G pitch, a synthetic pitch. Let's hear what Jake White had to say about that.
I think the most important thing is how we adapt to this new surface. I mean, if I watch the teams, the pace is very quick. So a lot of things change. The way you attack the breakdown, the numbers you have on your feet. If you commit too many and the ball pops out and they get quick ball, then you've got a problem, because the reality is that the game is so quick you don't get to fill the field. But at the same time, if you just give opposition the ball all the time, then it's also very difficult because you never catch up. So basically the decision making and understanding when to go in and when not to go in, and to make sure we got numbers on our feet from a defensive point of view, and then attacking wise to adapt according to I suppose to play as quickly as we can as well, because obviously the quicker you play, the more you test the defense.
Well, I'm particularly excited to look at that. Some of the change made, Kurtley Aronson coming in. We're talking about speed on this pitch. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for a guy like that. He's coming back into this team, and he is lightning quick. And he's the ideal customer you want in those wider channels. I think we're missing a bit of X factor, a bit of can do something from nothing or create something from nothing. He's the guy who brings that X factor. Another name, maybe X factor in a different light, is Jacques du Plessis, Sheep as they call him. He's making his starting debut for the Vodacom Bulls, and he is another player that consistently gets us over that advantage line.
Yeah, definitely. Quickly, you've hit the nail on the head with them. With Sheep, Marcus, we know what he can do. You know, the man, the long blonde head, you know, the Kirkness Road Thor. He's such a presence. You know, just to have him on the field is already, you know, a tick next to his name. And then what he brings to the game, you know, ball in hand, ability, strength in the line out. He just brings so much. And he's played in Europe as well. So I'm so excited to see him play against this horrible and terrible Cardiff team.
Well, another name is Imbros Papier, the Springbok. He made his return last week. He was phenomenal off the bench, was a breath of fresh air in my opinion. He's a real lightning rod. He's a firecracker in the number 9 jersey. So on that pitch, we're talking about that 4G pitch. It's going to be hard. It's going to be dry. It's going to be quick. He's the ideal scrum half to get that quick recycle and get things going. KK, there's been a number of changes, 8 in total for the Vodacom Bulls. You talk about the impact of the bench last week of guys like Bismarck du Plessis, Simpiwe Matanzima, Yanku Swanepoel, David Creel now at fullback. 8 changes to this team, and I think it's the right call from Jake White to make these changes because we needed something different from the last 2 weeks. We can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, Mark, we've seen with all the other teams, you know, they've had, you know, the electric guys, the athletes out in the outside backs, and to have like Cornel Hendricks shifting also into the you know, into the outside areas of that midfield is unbelievable to see as well. Lovely to see, and I think that back three matchup, we have matched them. We had to have matched them, and as you said, the pitch is just synthetic, so we're going to need those guys to get on the ball, to David Krill to set things up when nothing's happening for us, Marcos.
Well, speaking of matchups, I want to chat about Jacques van Rooyen. He is the Vodacom Bulls tight head prop. He was given a shot last week in the number 3 jersey, and he earned the right to maintain that number 3 jersey. He was phenomenal. He was a workhorse. He made 17 carries, more than any player on the pitch, including both teams, especially. I mean, it's impressive regardless of the position, but even more impressive of an accolade when you consider that he's a tight head prop. He's going up against Reece Carey in the number 1 jersey for Cardiff, and this man is very hard to miss. 6'3", 131 kgs is Reece Carey. He is physical, brilliant at scrum time. He's a Welsh international, but his ability to hold onto the ball and get you on the advantage line was what really is the difference. KK, I want to move on to Marcel Coetzee. This loose trio battle here. Marcel has made 49 tackles in 2 games. He's a workhorse. He leads our physical charge. Just a word on him in his battle with Josh Navidi.
Those are outrageous stats. To make 49 tackles, you know, as a flank, you know, if you're making like between 10 and 15 tackles, you're having a good game. This man has made 49 tackles in 2 games, Marcos. He's really reaching half-century figures in 2 games. That's unbelievable work from Marcel Coetzee. Obviously, he hasn't getting the support that he's needed. And Navidi, we know what he brings, and he brings to the park. He's a under-20 former Welsh captain. He's played for the British and Irish Lions. He's a proper presence as well, you know, good over the ball, and it's just, great battle that, Marcos.
Well, speaking,
And then, Mark, I wanted to ask you about the centre battle, Marcos. There's with Harold Foster, Cornel Hendricks coming up against, you know, Ben Thomas and Lilo. It's going to be a huge battle in the midfield because the midfield is, I think, where rugby games are sometimes won and lost if it's not in the forward pack.
Well, Harold Forster, in my opinion, has been a shining light in this Vodacom Bulls backline. He's the guy in the number 12 jersey that consistently gets us over that advantage line, especially from line-out time. That's where he really... We use him as a Damien Delendi role. He's a bit of a battering ram, but he's got a bit more guile than a guy like Damien Delendi. He's not just a blunt instrument. He's got a lot of creative ability to express himself as well. X-factor ability. He's good defensively as well. That's an underrated talent of his. So he's coming up against these centres from Cardiff that are 2 physical giants. I mean, Halaholo is off the bench, but Ray Lilo is a Samoan international. We know what he brings. Physicality, strong in the point of contact. They call him the chiropractor because he can cut you in half. He's a proper
I think he'd be happy
well.
with that one, Marcos. If you had to call him that. Yeah, but Harold Foster, Marcos, he's up for it today, I'm sure, because he's been so consistent, hasn't he, in the Bulls jersey, Marcos. And then Jacques versus Reece. We spoke about that.
Yeah, we spoke about that. But speaking of electricity, let's look at that back 3 battle between Kurtley Arendse, Marosh Tambwe, and then those 2 men from Cardiff. Owen Lane and Josh Adams. So we're looking back 3 versus back 3. I think we've completely changed our style. Last week we had a lot of physicality in our back 3. We had a Kombrink, Hendricks, Stravino Jacobs, all guys 100 kgs, willing to put their heads down and make their tackles and prevent Connacht from playing that 2-4-2 system where they have two forwards on the wings to create mismatches. We were able to stymie that, in my opinion, because of the back three we chose, but we lacked that X factor. We're a little bit limited. We lacked that speed. Now we've changed things. We've now got Kurtley Orense and Marosh Tambwe in that back three, and they're going up against two very quick men in their own right, and it's Josh Adams and Owen Lane.
Yes, Mark. You spoke about the 2-4-2 split, and we tried having the physical guys out wide. It obviously hasn't worked, and we've seen all over Europe, especially with the Northern Hemisphere teams, the British and Irish Isles teams, that they've had quick guys, explosive guys. So I think having someone like Marosh Tambwe and someone like Kurtley Orense and even David Krill at the back in the outside backs, it's just gonna, with this this wide play style of play that this team play against players, it's gonna help us. It's only gonna help us, and off broken play, it's just gonna be great to see, Marcus, when you have those men in ball in hand.
Well, I want to chat about this. These wings from Cardiff, because they are explosive, they are lightning quick, they're both brilliant in their own right, but this Josh Adams in particular is so dangerous. He's one of the best finishers, in my opinion, in world rugby. He was tied for most tries in the tournament in the 2019 World Cup with Makazole Mapimpi. He is lethal. We need to lock him down. It's going to be crucial. KK, talking about Cardiff, I want to talk about the Cardiff style, the way they play the game, the way they approach the game. They love to play wide. They love to up the tempo, up the ante, especially. And I think it's symptomatic of that pitch that they have, the synthetic pitch that's quick, that's fast, that's a solid, flat type of pitch. And it lends itself to playing expansive rugby, to playing elevated skill set. How do we, one, match these boys? Two, how do we shut them down and win this game when they play that up-tempo game?
Yeah, I think we've matched them in terms of the selections we've made. We've matched them, and I think athleticism and out wide is where this game's going to win. I think it's going to be a big shootout here, upcoming year, Marcus. It's going to be a huge shootout. I think that's what I believe, is that if you get the ball in the hands of we get through the phase, obviously use our big boys to get over the advantage, guys like Sim, and then you get the ball into the hands of Harold Foster, Cornel Hendricks, and then finally into the hands of your Kurtley Orense, Marosh Tambwe, and David Krill. I think it's going to be a big shootout, Mark. I think because of the style of rugby they play, they don't like to keep it tight, like you said. They're a wide team.
I'm going to disagree with you respectively, sir. I think that the way we need to play this game is play an ugly brand of rugby. I said in backstage pass, we need to grab this game by the scruff of the neck and drag it into the gutter. I think we need to make it ugly. We've got the explosive back, so they can feed off counter ball. If we get opportunities, we create them through our defence and our physicality. We've got the right men to capitalise on those opportunities with a Kurtley, with a Madosh, even a Davy Krill. Yep. But I think we need to make this ugly. We cannot afford to get into a shootout with a team like Cardiff that prize themselves on their attacking intent.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mark. But you need to look at the selections we've made. We've got someone like Emi Papier at 9, who's not going to be kicking the ball away at all. We're going to try to keep the ball in the hands. We're going to try to get our ball. There's X-factor players all around in the backline, Marcos. Barring Goose, but Goose in his own right he likes to throw the ball around. So it's going to be an interesting game to watch, because it's going to be the selections tell you that it's going to be a game of high scoring, but the gameplay style that you're saying, it's probably
as the boys run out quickly. KK, time for who you excited about in their team and who you excited about in ours.
Yeah, in their team, like you mentioned earlier, Josh Adams, the Welsh ex-Welsh wing, who's just done so much. He's so strong with the ball in hand. He's quick. He's just your ultimate number 11, isn't he? And then I'm looking at Marcus, my White Line Fevers. Looking at the Bulls team, Janku Swanepoel, our boy. He's going to be great in the line out. So we needed someone like him. And he's built his game so hard around, ball carrying ability. So he's really turned his game around big time. He's not just a line out option anymore. And then Emi Papier, Marcos. Yourself?
I'm looking at Josh Navidi, the number 6. He's the captain on the day. Josh Turnbull's on the bench for Cardiff. So he's a similar kind of player. As we said, British and Irish Lion. He's the X-Factor player. He's not overly massive, but he's got such an incredible engine on him. He's a Michael Hooper-esque type of player. Physical, energetic, and he makes those splash plays as well, especially at the breakdown, but with ball in hand. So another guy we need to lock down. Look at man for man. I think our pack, we've got the upper hand there. I think that's where we need to win this game. Let's not get into a shootout with the backs. Let's dominate these Cardiff boys physically. KK, it's almost kickoff time here.
Yeah, but just quick on, yes, we don't want to get into a shootout, but you know, with the players that are on the field today, like sometimes it's bound to be a shootout. And, you know, with the players on the field on both sides, it's unbelievable. I mean, Amos Adams and Owen against Madosh Tambwe, David Krill and Curtly Orange. I mean, like, it's
fireworks.
It's fireworks. It's complete. And Reece Priestland against Goose. That's a battle by on itself.
Battles, mouth-watering battles all over strewn across the pitch. Welcome to Bullseye TV. We're about to get going. Commentary, Reece Priestland's about to kick us off. The Cardiff number 10 and former incumbent for Wales as well. Won a number of caps for them. And before a guy like Dan Biggar came along, he was the starting number 10, especially that 2011 World Cup.
And then also, Marcus, just before we get started, to all the Bulls faithful, we're giving away a Bulls rugby kit, a Bulls rugby jersey, sorry. And just give us your words of encouragement and like, share, and subscribe, and you can win that beautiful kit.
Kick-off in Cardiff now. Emrys Papier, the number 9 jersey, taking over for Zach Burger, who's being rested today. He returns with interest. Vodacom Bulls need to press here. Conditions look pretty good for rugby on that surface, the 4G surface that has gotten so much attention in the build up to this week. Here comes Davy Krill on the counter. Always beats the first man. About 6'4".
I mean,
in the backfield.
He's so good in his tight encounters. Here we go, Marcus. Take us away, Mambo.
Emrys Papier at the base of the strike. We go for a dink over the top via the boot of Johan Goosen. Cardiff looking to counter in the wide. We knew they were going to spread it wide early. And brought down. A massive shot in midfield by Jacques van Rooyen, the workhorse, who was exceptional last week. Sheep charging up. That's a strong carry by Cardiff in midfield. That is the number 4 lock, Seb Davies. Here comes Cardiff again. Now well into the Vodacom Bulls territory. Going through the phases, looking to carry, and they've gotten over the advantage line consistently. This is a scrum off. Lloyd Williams. It's a good tackle by Marcel Coetzee. Almost managed to strip the ball, but he didn't release first. The penalty has gone the way of Cardiff, and here comes Lloyd Williams. He's tapped and went very quickly. Josh Adams, the danger man, puts boot to ball.
Nice to see that.
Hendricks.
It's nice to see that we're not in 6s and 7s there, that like we've been in broken play, Marcus, and now we can reset. Let's go.
Oh, here comes Cardiff again. They managed to get the ball back. Ray Lilo screaming for a Josh Navidi. Almost scores a try. He just gets stopped by Marcel Coetzee. You've got to give away the pen here. Don't let them score. Don't let them concede. And they've knocked it on. And somehow, looking down the barrel there with the Vodacom Bulls, they managed to prevent Cardiff from scoring this try. It was 2-on-1. Josh Navidi, the captain, selfishly goes for the line instead of giving it to his outside back. We're getting a great camera angle here from the cameraman. Look at this again. Gives the offload. Josh Navidi just needed to let it go.
Give it there, doesn't he? You know, but if it gives it, Goose is there. He's on him. But you know, Marcus,
tackle from Marcel Coetzee.
I know it's early on in the game, but it's lovely to see. And when we lost the ball in broken play, and we really got our senses together. And we all came back, and we all know that we went in 6s and 7s like we normally are in broken play. So lovely to see. Big first scrum here. Do we go with the scrum penalty here and try?
Got to go for the scrum penalty. But I think when we saw Cardiff get that line break, it was almost deja vu for us. We're saying not another slow start from the Vodacom, please.
Yeah.
Not another slow start. Marcel Coetzee does exceptional well to scramble back, make the tackle, and force the knock-on of Josh Navidi, the opposing captain. As a result, the Vodacom Bulls breathe a sigh of relief, and they get a scrum down here on their own try line.
Yeah, definitely. I was, we were thinking the same thing. Like, we can't concede a try like that again of broken play, and luckily our defense really came to the fold. Finally, come on, boys.
Huge scrum required here from the Vodacom Bulls. They are the lighter pack by 16 kilograms. Very interesting to see, because we've picked a mammoth pack here. Solid scrum. Here comes Ulrich Lowe.
Best believe.
Good carry from him to set up the clearance. Johan Goosen will clear. Good kick from Johan Goosen, but doesn't find touch. Owen Lane. Back in field here is Hallam Amos, another man we need to bring down. He's electric from fullback. Jacques van Rooyen makes the tackle. Cardiff now going up the guts, going narrow. They'll be looking to go wide very soon as well, I'm sure. Here comes Screech. And it's been turned over. Bismarck du Plessis. Here comes Cornel Hendricks, but it's a penalty for not releasing. That's the second penalty for not releasing, back to back. And again, the Vodacom Bulls proving that they cannot adapt to the refereeing interpretations in the north. It's been a thorn in our side. Jacob.
Yeah, just speaking those refereeing interpretations, they need some interpretation as well. For us down south there, Marcus, don't they? And as the comments are coming, Hugo Snamer and Elizabeth Buerta, hello guys, thank you so much for your comments. Keep them coming. Hugo's saying you can win this. We believe in you. Proudly supporting the Vodacom Bulls for sure. We are, ma'am. And then Paul Herman saying hi. How's it, Herman? Nice, Mr. Herman. Nice for you to join us. I know it's a late game, but for your presence is what drives us. Thank you so much, guys.
And on that point, we are giving away a Vodacom Bulls jersey this evening. So make sure you, 1, comment, and 2, share if you want to win that jersey. Ask a question, give a message of encouragement for our boys. Do something interesting to grab our attention, but you have to share the post if you want to be in the running for that Vodacom Bulls jersey.
And just to start the interaction, Marcos, I think the Bulls fans, give us your score predictions. I know they just slotted one over now. Give us the score.
Give 5 minutes in, slots and draws first blood.
Yeah, give us the score predictions and let's see. Maybe the person who comes closest to the score prediction could win that jersey. We'll have to decide on that closer to the time. But give us the score predictions, guys.
5 minutes in, 3-0 is the score to Cardiff. The home team, Vodacom Bulls, have once again started very poorly. They've had no possession, no territory over the course of the opening 5 minutes. We need to change things very quickly. And again, a penalty is given against Maros Tambwe for competing in the air. I mean, this ref is going to blow this game extremely strictly. We hope that he does it consistently both ways. At the moment, it's one-way traffic. So the penalty counts, and Cardiff again just get let out of jail.
Yeah, Marcus, all we want is consistency. Well, that's all we want, you know. You can be consistently good or consistently bad. We don't mind, but just be consistent towards both sides. I mean...
That's about as soft a penalty as you could imagine there given away at Maros Tambwe. I mean, clearly competing for the ball, but let's give a penalty away. Here comes Cardiff, Navidi. Good tackle from Johan Huis, and again, Vodacom Bulls on the back foot. They've had no territory or possession, and it's pretty much been the narrative of this URC campaign. Just struggle to start, struggle to get a clamp on the game.
Yeah, quickly.
Comes Owen Lane. Here comes Ray Lilo, and he gets away from 2, and that's a great tackle from
he's over that.
David Krill almost making the steal.
No, ref, that must be ours. That must be ours.
Again, a penalty has gone against the Vodacom Bulls. It looks like it's gone against David Krill, and right now, it's only been 6 minutes. It's Bismarck du Plessis, and we could be seeing a yellow card here going upstairs. But it has been penalty after penalty after penalty within the opening 6 minutes here in Cardiff. It's becoming incredibly difficult to watch and commentate.
Interested to see what he'll be looking at. Strong jawline from the ref.
It's about all that strong from his ref. Don't like the look of him at all.
Not at all. You are see refs sitting against us. They really haven't. I'm being biased, and my bias comes from a good place, but it's just been so tough for
David
us.
Krill had a hand on the ground there. I think that's a fair penalty against him, but I'm not sure what we are looking at. We don't have the luxury of going upstairs. We want to see if potentially there was no arms in that clean out by the number 4. That is Seb Davies.
And if not,
there's no attempt
arms
to wrap,
there.
And that's a
shoulder charge there.
I don't think it's a yellow card, but it's certainly a penalty in my opinion. Davies drops the shoulder up. The arms tucked in against his rib cage.
I mean, he's not even looking at David Krill there, Marcos. His head's away. He's just trying to, Yeah. Thank you, Mr. F. What's happening there?
We're looking at a penalty, perhaps more than that.
Cheese.
Someone's getting the cheese. Seb Davies. Off you go, fella.
Nah.
Seb Davies gets the cheese. Cheers, son. Take 10 minutes.
Have a breather.
Seb Davies, the superstar lock that we haven't heard of Cardiff, leaves the field for 10 minutes. And we breathe a sigh of relief in the studio, because we were again staring down the barrel there. Davy Krill had his hand on the ground making that steal. That could have been a penalty against the Vodacom Bulls. Yeah. Finally, we get some field position. Now, can we get the ball through the hands? I mean, it's been 7 minutes and it's been all Cardiff.
Yeah, it really has been all Cardiff. But just going back, we look at this ruck again. This guy, what was he doing? Davies, we're not playing American football here, sir. Come on.
Okay, Bismarck du Plessis, an opportunity to feed our first line out of the game, almost on the halfway line. Want to bet this goes backline ball to Harold Forster and we charge up the guts, or do we go more time? Looks like we're going more time. I'm happy with that.
Mr. Reliable Janko Swanepoel takes it down, and now we go. And now we move, Marcos. Now we move.
And I mean, Cardiff
But
are
look at this, look at
collapsing
that.
it.
That's a card. That's so
There we go.
cynical.
The arm is
Thank
out.
you.
Finally from the ref. Bismarck du Plessis takes 3 to bring him down. Vodacom Bulls have the advantage out and they're looking to attack. Cardiff's defense is completely offside. Marcel Coetzee. Here comes Sheep. Opportunity for him to put his head down and make a big carry. Again, competing at ruck time. Cardiff will go back for the penalty advantage. And doesn't look like, as I said earlier, let's make it ugly. I don't think this Cardiff pack can hang with this Vodacom Bulls pack. It gets dangerous when they spread the ball. And as we say, that superstar number 6 and captain on the day, Josh Navidi, is down.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an A now already. He's not even 10 minutes into the game. Well, welcome, sir. Welcome to your own pitch. Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is where this game is won and lost for us. We need to keep it tight, keep it in the tight encounters, get that rolling maul going, make it ugly, make it super physical and intense.
Yeah, I think in the initial encounters it has to be like that for sure. And then in these initial encounters we need to be executing well, keep it tight, and then not give away stupid like knock-ons or penalties, and then we can open the floodgates. But like so far from what I've seen since that's the yellow card call, it's looking good, Marcos.
That's superstar Welsh prop Gethin Jenkins. He is the one of the coaches for Cardiff. As we say that Josh Turnbull, the usual captain incumbent, loose forward's going to come off the bench for Josh Navidi. That is a massive blow for Cardiff. They needed a guy like Josh Navidi. And as you said, it's Jacques du Plessis wreaking havoc.
Complete havoc. And that's what you like to see, isn't it?
Wow.
That's what we bring to the table, Navidi. Can't
Wow.
wait to see it, Loftus.
That is a collision and a half. Josh Navidi off to the sideline. Vodacom Bulls have the penalty. They kick for the side. They have a line-out set up on the 22-meter line. And our first real opportunity to sink our teeth into this encounter.
Definitely, Marcos. As a couple of the predictions come in, Jakobus Cornelsen saying 34-15 Bulls win. So I hope so. And then a couple of the Bulls fans, obviously, after the back of the 2 defeats, not really backing the Bulls today. But Rena Kruger saying 24-21. I like that, Rena. That's what I believe in. I believe in you, Mr. Kruger.
Well, we've secured our own line-out ball. That's the first task, and now we go driving more. Bismarck du Plessis has it at the back, working harder than a one-handed bartender during happy hour. Let's see if he can peel off of the back of the small. They go Embrose Papier. Backline ball. Forster. Up the guts goes Cornel Hendricks. It's quick ball for Embrose Papier. Quick recycle. Here comes Ron Nokia, the man from Wonderboom. The big, and immediately a penalty's been given away for going off our feet. How many times did we see this last week against Connacht? The referee is not going to allow the Vodacom Bulls to go through the phases here. On attack, again, we get pinged for clean. And here come Cardiff. Again, trying to speed it up. They go wide. Josh Adams. Hallam Amos. These boys really don't want to take a breather. Now we can counter. Davy Creel. The field's opened up for him. Horrible pass. Misses his whole backline. Curtly Orense goes scrambling backwards. Manages to come away with it. Can he stay in field? He's done an exceptional job. Embrose Papier. Janko Swanepoel. We need to slow this game down. It's going at a rate of knots. Penalties been given against the Vodacom Bulls for holding on. That is the number 1 Reece Carey, the 131 kg slab of granite.
Yeah, it's just that first penalty we gave away. It was our own ball. We lost the ball off our own ball, and I saw what the ref was blowing for. And in Currie Cup rugby, in domestic rugby, we don't penalties don't get given if you have the ball in hand. So the boys are really, it must be such a shock to them that they obviously losing or they're off their feet at that ruck time, and then normally they never get penalised for it. But if they're off their feet at ruck time on their own ball, they're getting penalised against their own ball, which is so, we never see it in SA rugby. So it's just different for the boys, which is, at the end of the day, the ref is right. Because if you're off your feet, you're off your feet. It doesn't matter if you have ball in hand or not, I guess.
But less than 10 minutes in, when that penalty was given, there were 6 penalties against the Vodacom Bulls, 2 against Cardiff. So this ref, 8 penalties in under 10 minutes. That's almost a penalty a minute from this referee. I mean, he is as strict as it gets, really. I would love us to just see to watch a little bit of rugby. I didn't come here to watch a penalty fest.
Yeah, most definitely. If this ref wants to ref international rugby, he needs to change the way he's refing the rugby game, because this is not how the people Nigel owns, the Craig Joubert ref rugby games. For sure. If you have ball in hand, you got the momentum, you just keep the game going. You need to use it your discretion.
Well, he drew first blood a few minutes ago, did Reece Priestland. He's now extended Cardiff's lead to 6-0. They are a man down. You wouldn't believe that, the way they've been playing. I mean, had a penalty in their own half, opportunity to clear, and they tap and go and go 50 meters up the field. They're really trying to play this game with tempo. We really need to slow it down if we want any shot of walking away with a W. Goose restarts. Curtly Orenser chases like a house on fire. Good tackle from Harold Forster. Now we've buried them deep into their half, and hopefully we can apply some pressure here. They're going to set up a phase. Pod goes backwards. That's Dimitri, our hip, the tight head prop of Cardiff, and now they're going to clear their lines. Via box kick, it looks like it is Lloyd Williams. I mean, not the greatest return from Williams, the scrum half of Cardiff, and another opportunity for the Vodacom Bulls to get something going. After 12 minutes, haven't seen too much from this team.
Yeah, we haven't seen much at all. You know, as soon as we're getting momentum, Marcus, we're just getting blown, aren't we? We're making silly mistakes, but it just goes back to there's a couple of factors for that. But we are making silly mistakes at breakdown time, and we're just losing our momentum. Yeah. But I think in terms of like clear-cut opportunities, there really hasn't been one clear-cut opportunity this game yet, Marcus, for either team to, you know, put some points on the board, put some proper points on the board, and convert to try on the board. And I think, yeah, we just keep our discipline. We just stick in this game. We really have them, you know, physically already. I can see our dominance when we have with that one-on-one advantage line battle.
Well, 12 minutes in, Cardiff essentially have 60% of the possession. You're not going to win many ball games when 40% of possession is nothing, and it's not enough. It's not good enough. We really need to get something going from this lineup. Can Bismarck find his jumpers? Can we get a rolling maul going? Will Cardiff contest? How will they contest a rolling maul? Will they go in the side again and try and get away with it? I don't think that legally they can stop our rolling maul.
No, definitely not. Let's have a look.
We go to Janko Swanepoel at the front. We go backline ball. This is going to Forster. Surely. It does. Go Harold.
Go Harry.
Good carry. Buries the head down. Great carry from Harold Forster. And Cardiff are completely offside. It's not been given. Jan Goosen goes to the boot, and we've given possession back to Cardiff when we desperately needed possession in their half. I see what Jan Goosen was trying to do, but the execution was not good enough, really, from a Vodacom Bulls fly half. And Cardiff have possession now in their 22.
You see how they're pulling them in. You see how he's pulling them in. How I don't know, it was the oak off the bench pulling in Auriglo into the ruck to try and giving him a hard time to get out the ruck. Dirty play there.
Well, you mentioned Ulrich Lowe. That's a player I would really like to see him stamp his authority in the game. I think he started very slowly, both previous games against Leinster and Connacht, but he came into the game increasingly as time went on. I'd like to see him, you know, get to the races very early into this contest, get the ball in his hands, get him gaining some momentum on the stat sheet, but also personally, just so he can find his way into the game early on, because he's crucial for us, for our cause.
It's so crucial. And telling Leroy, yes, thank you, Rian, for telling him it's 6-0 to Cardiff, and the Bulls are on the attack.
Here comes Davy Kriel, goes to boot again. Quickly, Orenser.
Let's go, quickly.
Grabs it. Can he stay in field?
Nice
Here's the offload to Cornel Hendricks. There's no one with him.
Here we go.
Brilliant. Off his feet was Josh Adams, and the penalty gone against him. And that is a cynical penalty, in my opinion, with the Vodacom Bulls. 7 meters out, Josh Adams knew exactly what the number 11 wing was doing, straight off his feet.
Yeah, Mark, quickly answered it so well there. So let's have a look at to get in there, to step inside. We'll see this now again.
Brilliant pinpoint stab through from Davy Kriel.
Look at this, steps inside.
He just makes, he's a baller. He just makes things happen.
He is.
Sheep charging up, brilliant to see. 120 kg, 6'7" behemoth in the number 7 jersey, charging. He's up there with Cornel Hendricks. Opportunity of Bismarck du Plessis, finds jumper. Lineout has been exceptional for the Vodacom Bulls in the first 14 minutes.
Let's squeeze now, boys. Let's squeeze. Let's keep it together. Let's go.
Get that maul going, boys. And they've collapsed it. They've blatantly collapsed it. Has the number 3, Dimitri.
Ref, come on.
The ref doesn't want to call. And they're offside again, is Cardiff. This ref is watching a completely different game. It's getting increasingly too frustrating to commentate this. Cardiff have turned the ball over, and now they're going to clear their lines. They're going for the cross kick. They push the ball up out. Now we've been pushed all the way back into our half. Here comes Harold Forster. He gives it to Davy Kriel. He's going to have a bite at the cherry, and he falls and knocks it on. Here come Cardiff in a prime attacking position, running against tight forwards. Emrys Papia is charging back. Does he have the wheels? He does. Makes a bit
He's
of
off
a
his
meal
feet,
of
man.
it. Knock-on's been given to Cardiff. They'll have a scrum. And I would love to go... Jan Goosen's down. That's the last thing you want to see. He's clutching at his knee, it looks like. But the refereeing, I have to say, the refereeing has been abhorrent in this Vodacom United Rugby Championship. And this game has been no different. Absolutely abhorrent.
Yeah, Mark, I couldn't agree more. The ref has been terrible. You know, I sent a message, I posted it on Instagram before the game, and one of my mates were like, Kex, what's happening with the referee in URL? So I was like, I don't know. I really don't know, my man. And Marcus, what the Crane Auto Jr. is saying, Crane Auto Jr., nice to see you, saying hello, telling us that Sheep's having a good game. But Crane, well done last week on that prize, on that World Sports Betting prize. And if you are a Bull supporter, give us your comments, share, comment, and like the post, and you can win a Bulls rugby jersey delivered to your place.
Sad news for the Vodacom Bulls. Johan Goosen, the Goose, is leaving the field. Just not what you want at all. 15 minutes in, really needed to depend on the shoulders and the cool head and the poise of a guy like Jan Goosen. But on comes Chris Smith. He's certainly no slouch off the bench. He's a great replacement to have.
No, I think this is a big opportunity here for Chris. He needs his opportunity. We'll speak about opportunities, and this is one. This is a huge one, and I think he can do it. But Chris is, he can. When he came off the bench against Leinster, he really played. He played well. He was one of the shining lights in the very dark tunnel, Marcus. So,
well, in the Carling Currie Cup final against the Sharks, he was phenomenal, starting in number 10 jersey. Johan Goosen was out with a positive COVID test, and Chris Smith played with absolute aplomb, pulled the strings to perfection, marshaled the troops, and again, we keep talking about it every time he takes the field, opportunity ahead of him, but I think we need to stop saying that because he deserves the opportunities, and he's grabbed them, and he's now just a solid backup with the potential to be a starter in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely, Marcus. Yeah, it's opportunities. He's done it before. It's not opportunity anymore. It's just the right man at the right time, and he's the right man right now.
Scrum time for the Vodacom Bulls. The scrums have been very 50-50. They've been solid. We haven't seen a scrum penalty as of yet in the opening almost 16 minutes. The scrum goes down instantly, so we'll have a reset.
Donnie Stoll saying, geez, this commentator is also just one side. They need to be neutral. I think Donnie's talking about the Welsh commentators. Yeah, me and Mark had a proper debate about those oaks. They are not debate, a conversation. We agreed that the commentary up north is really biased. But
maybe he's talking about us.
No, I tell you, he's definitely not talking about us. Because he must be a Bull supporter talking about us. But Donnie, thank you so much. Rian saying sheep mood via ref tackle. Yeah, we agree with that, Rian.
Let's not get into that. That was my highlight of the URC so far, though, in the opening game against Leinster. Cardiff feed. The penalty should go. It's been given to Cardiff. So they're on the attack. Here comes Ray Lilo. They're going down the blind side. Reece Priestland, or was that Josh Adams? Good tackle again from Marcel Coetzee.
Yeah.
Reece Carey, big shot from him, gets over the advantage line, beats the first man. Cardiff now, wave after wave. Here comes Myhill, the captain. Thomas, Ray Lilo, good tackle from Cornel Hendricks. Vodacom Bulls scrambling in defence now. Cardiff just going through the phases, and they're getting such quick ball, and we're just not able to slow it down. Carry again. It's now a matter of time for Cardiff, you would have to say. They are 2 meters out from the try line. One more surge should do it. Repelled. Good tackle from the Vodacom Bulls, but the damn wall's about to break. And
the ball's out there.
Might have just given away a penalty there.
No, ball's out there.
Cardiff trying to keep it tight now. And they're over the line. And that is a try for Cardiff. Looks like it's the number 5, Screech. Matthew Screech. Number 5 lock. And you'd have to say Cardiff, attacking wise, they've been really lethal, and we've struggled to contain them. Defensively, we just don't look like we have the answers. And
Marcus, I was just watching on their attacking rucks and how they fold and how they get over their ball. They are so disciplined, Marcus. The ref is, you can't blame the ref too much because they're so just like every time they get a ruck, they're very disciplined. They try to get out of there as soon as possible, and this is just like pick and drive, pick and go off the 9. Look at this. As we see it, boom, 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 over the top. But I'm just saying,
Tackle's not good enough from
tackle's
Jacques
not
van
good enough.
Rooyen. He needed to get lower there, in my opinion. Yep, Screech just got under him.
Yeah.
Screech got under him. He didn't get low enough, and Screech is about 6'7". Jacques van Rooyen's about 6'1". So he really had the advantage. He needed to get lower. You'd back in those close encounters of tight head prop to repel a lock.
No, we just need to pin them back now after this kick, Marcus. Pin them back, and let's just be at ruck time. Let's just make sure we just fold. We have our ruckers. Everyone else just get out of there and let's play this game, because that's what's against us now. It's ruck time penalties. We have momentum. If we're giving away a ruck time penalty, and this is putting us back into our half. It's a story of of our URC so far, I think.
Well, speaking of the story of our URC, we are more than two converted tries down. Cardiff find themselves 13-0 up after 19 minutes, and once again we're chasing the game, requiring 2 converted tries in tough conditions. And again, this has, as you just mentioned, has been the story of our URC campaign, that we find ourselves in these tough windows where we need to fight back and score 2 converted tries in succession to stay in the hunt. Chris Smith restarts us here. Cardiff have possession securely. That is through the number 4 lock. Seb Davies has worked really hard, even though he got a yellow card earlier. Lloyd Williams turns via box kick. Davy Kriel. Chris Smith, who's on for Johan Goosen. Poor pass from Chris Smith. Goes to Kirkley Arendse. Can he create something? He's so dangerous. Beats 2, and off he goes to the races. Can he stay in field? He does. He hasn't gone out. Somehow
He released the ball. Oh, he got
there's a
to-
knock-on.
yeah, he's
And the
out, I think.
knock-ons are really piling up here for the Vodacom Bulls now. Or was he out? He may have been out. One of his studs may have kissed the sideline there.
think
But
could be
exceptional from Kirkley Arendse. Just nothing on. Just puts his head down. Beats
that's
2
beautiful.
defenders, including Owen Lane. He's no slouch.
Has some time to fix his scrum cap in the process as well. Releases the ball there. Oh, he probably what
Didn't
happens
look
there?
out at all. The touch judge's flag is not up, so I'm not sure what the issue. I think they've given a knock-on when he clearly
Let's have a
released
look.
and went again. Great strength from Kirkley Arendse. He seems
I
up for
promise
it.
you, if they're giving a knock on for this, Marcus, and there's no knock on, I mean, what was it?
Down he goes. That's
He
not a
releases,
knock-on.
he
releases the ball.
Oh, he fumbles it on the way up. Yo, that is tight.
That's tight. He agrees with it. I mean, he was looking to release and go
Yeah.
again.
Just on the way up.
That's a tight call.
Yo, that's tight.
Well, he's been a shining light for the Vodacom Bulls, has Kirkley Arendse. There's no other word to describe him other than electric, and that's probably something we were missing last week.
Yeah, Tyrone, we agree with you. Keep them coming, Tyrone, saying we still got this chance. Hit them hard, guys. Bulls for life. Yeah, we agree. Bulls for life. We just want to be on the right side of the scoreboard, don't we, Tyrone? Keep your comments coming. Like, comment, and share, and you can win that beautiful Bulls jersey.
Scrum time for Cardiff. 21 minutes in, they have possession. 13-0 up. See, these are the battles we need to be winning as the Vodacom Bulls at scrum time, and Cardiff is just too clean for them, and now they have the opportunity to run right at us. They get it out to Josh Adams. Marosh must lock him down, makes the tackle, done very well, but Owen Lane gets the offload, and here they come quickly. Need to slow this game down.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
shot there, good tackle.
We do need to slow this game down, Marcus. You're so right.
They opt for the boot via Reece Priestland. Kirkley Arendse is tracking back. He's going to need to clear. Will he give it to David Kriel? He's got a big boot on him. Does the Vodacom Bulls full back? He returns with interest. That's a good kick from David Kriel. He'll be happy with that. Gets it past the 10-meter line. Very good kick. I always use the words safe as houses when I'm describing David Kriel.
Yeah, he is safe at all, isn't he? And he can create something out of nothing.
Kirby Myhill, the captain, to feed the line out for Cardiff. They've had all the possession, all the territory in the opening 22 minutes, and as a result, they find themselves 13-0 up. But the line out doesn't go according to plan. Here comes Bismarck du Plessis. Good carry from him. Stays on his feet. Refuses to go down. Bismarck du Plessis. Does he have anyone with him? They go down the blind side. Kirkley Arendse, there's nothing there. He'll put it back to Chris Smith. Is there something on the right-hand side? Here comes Marcel Coetzee. Big carry from him. When I say we need to keep it tight, this is what I mean. Ambrose Papier, Cornel Hendricks, with their arms in that tackle. and they've stolen it have Cardiff. So, again, just as we're building momentum,
And counter there.
that's a
Counter
knock-on
there.
from Cardiff. Surely that's a knock-on from Cardiff, and it
Yeah.
is. We'll get a scrum and we'll get some purchase from a little bit of pressure.
Yo, Mark. You know, as soon as we turned that ball over, you know, and when we set that ruck up, where was the game plan? You know, surely we need something. You know, we got front football. Surely we got something happening between the centre and the 10, saying, "Now and take care. Let's get this move going." It was just the same thing again, Marcus. You know, going through the phases, and then when you're seeing Cornel Hendricks close to the 15-meter line, taking the ball up against forwards, you know, there's something. Come on.
What I'm worried about is the fact that we don't seem to be able to go through the phases. It looks like we go 3-4 phases, and either there's a knock-on or we give away a penalty.
But this is what I mean. Like as soon as he's over the advantage, like, surely there's something between 9 and 10. There's something like on the cards here.
Tell you what, predatory instincts, Curtly Orense, he was on the blind. That ball needed to go a little bit earlier, and I think we might have been in. Look, it's complete. There's no defense from Cardiff. Curtly Orense is charging on the left-hand side. If this ball goes now, Curtly is 1-on-1 for Curtly Orense. I back him to score that try. But it was
has to
just
be
too
executed.
late. It was
Yeah.
too late to give the pass, and Curtly had no option but to throw it back in field. But it's those razor-thin margins. We just need to be a little bit sharper.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I just feel like we're one dimension at the moment on attack, but let's just see, maybe something will be ignited here, Marcus.
What we need is to back our fundamentals and bank on those areas of the game that we've been historically strong, like a scrum. Our scrum hasn't given us any purchase whatsoever. We need our scrum to create something here.
Yeah, and Marcus, a young Yonka wants to know why there's so many turnovers. Do we not commit enough, or do we need a fetcher? Like, what?
Well, Fetcher won't help you on attack. I mean, on defense, a Fetcher can win you turnovers. They won't win you, or they won't secure your ball. Those are two different skill sets. I think that the big issue, and some of the commentators, the Welsh commentators mentioned it last night, that the ruck is far more heavily contested in the Northern Hemisphere than it is in the Southern Hemisphere. We just expect quick ball without trying to earn it in the Southern Hemisphere. Here come the Vodacom Bulls attacking. Here comes Davy Krill, but it's too lateral. It's far too lateral, and that's the issue. I think we probably don't commit enough numbers. I think you're right with that question. We don't commit enough numbers to our own breakdown, and that's something we're going to have to change. We're going to have to completely change the way we attack.
100%.
Here comes Jacques van Rooyen.
Keep them coming.
Big carry from him. Brilliant carry from Jacques van Rooyen, who worked tirelessly with 17 carries last week against Connacht. Back to David Krill. Beats the first man, that's Screech. Falling off a lot of tackles of Cardiff. We just can't seem to make it count. Chris Smith, another wobbly ball to Ulrich Lowe.
Arms out there from the ref, that's ours.
The pass is just not going to hand from the Vodacom Bulls. That's the third wayward pass when it's an opportunity to turn the corner, and you really worry that maybe the skill set is just not there from our boys this evening.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, it's just small mistakes. Like Chris must be finding his pass, and we're going for the poles.
It's the right call. Get some points on the board.
Of course, it's the right call. I was about to say though, Marcus, it's the right call because of the rugby we're playing in this last month. But it's something you don't see from the Bulls. It's going for poles at this stage of the game, and we're going for poles because we know it's going to be tough to get points on the board here.
It's going to be very tough to score tries. I mean, we may have to bank on getting 3 or 4 penalties or a drop goal to Boeta Chamberlain for the Sharks change the game by slotting 3 drop kicks. That might be an option we need to start exploring, because I don't know how many tries these Northern Hemisphere teams are going to give up. We've scored 1 and 2 in 3 games. We scored 1 try so far. I think we're going to have to bank on the boot of Chris Smith and maybe a more over try, and we're going to have to win via the boot of Chris Smith.
I agree with you. But if we just take something, a leaf out of the Sharks page from last night, it's just discipline. Sharks were a lot more disciplined than they normally are, and than the Cyclones normally are, and that is what again is playing against us this game.
Well, 26 minutes in, the Vodacom Bulls give us something to go absolutely raucous about. We get a penalty, and the score is 13-3. Points extremely hard to come by up in Cardiff.
Yeah, Donny starts saying Bulls need to back their skills. We're the best SA team. It just seems that they're lacking a bit of confidence. Maybe it is confidence, or maybe just a different style of play. Donny, who knows? But yeah, we agree with you. We are the best team in South Africa. Down
the gullet of Jacques du Plessis, and he just commits tacklers every time he collects the ball. That's a very good extra strategy from the Bulls. Emrys Papier clears, but it hasn't gone far enough at all. We backed up to just outside of our 22-meter line. You need better purchase, and this is probably where the Northern Hemisphere teams get the rubber over us, is that the exit strategies are so well defined. I mean, there, Jacques Duplessis collected, beats his first man, gets us some go forward. It's a clean ruck. That ball perhaps needs to go back to Chris Smith and he boots it upfield, but we can't push it 5 meters to our 22-meter line and give them prime attacking position.
It's good contest there by Janko. Yeah, Marcus, you're so right. The extra is so good, you know. The other fine grass, they find, and if they are fine, if they're booting it up, they've got good chasing lines, you know. They're competing like aggressively. So yeah.
Big shout out there to Ruan Okia. After, as you mentioned, the great contest from Janko Swanepoel, Cardiff win the ball back, but Ruan Okia gets over the ruck and wins us a rare breakdown penalty. Chris Smith is going to cross kick. Is it on for us? It was massively on, but the refs called it back. Definitely the right call. We might have had to tap and go first and then give the cross kick. You can't just give a cross kick if you call for a bit of deliberation now between the medic and the referee.
Yeah, Rian asking, are these teams fitter than our team? It's not a case of fitness, you know. All professional rugby teams that have got great budgets, it's like the Bulls and this Cardiff team have got great coaching staff and great, you know, conditioning staff. I think it's just a case of game plan and a case of, you know, where you need, you know, just a combination of many things, Rian. We definitely, our Bulls team is extremely fit, you know. We've got these guys are probably the fittest, some of the fittest in world rugby. It's just a case of athleticism when it matters.
Well, Matthew Screech, the number 5 lock for Cardiff Rugby, has left the field, gone to the blood bin. Came off second best in a head clash with Davy Krill, the fullback. And it's a short arm after the line out for numbers against Cardiff. So, Chris Smith, what do we do here? Up and under? Do we tap and go? Do we go for the line? Even though it'll be opposition ball, looks like we're going to put this up in the air, and we are.
Let's chase now hard. Let's go, Madosh. All you, boy.
Might have travelled a little bit too far. Actually, it's perfect. And there's a
knocked.
knock on.
Yes.
From,
it's a knock,
It's
Ref.
a knock on.
It's a knock. Not given.
We're going back for the knock on.
Surely.
Blatant knock on. I mean, blatant knock on from Cardiff. Not given. Now it looks like it is. Looks like it's Josh Adams. Jumps up to compete for the ball. Or it might have been tapped back from Madosh Tambwe. Be interesting to see who gets possession here at this ruck. 13-3 is the score, 29 minutes in. It's Vodacom Bulls ball. Emrys Papier has it. So now scrum just outside of their 22. Really need to stamp our authority on this fixture and create something from the scrum. I think we go, Harold Forster runs an unders line and just goes straight up the middle, post to post, kind of carry, get us on the front foot.
Definitely. I was just like, I would love a set piece, you know, a set piece move here, Mark, or something that's, you know, that's out of the ordinary.
I just don't think we can afford to go through too many phases. I don't think we can string them together against this team.
100%.
The ref's going to always blow against us, so we need a set piece, something.
Yeah.
Even if we get a break, don't score the try, but recycle and go again. We just can't go through. We can't depend on going 6-7 phases against these guys, and especially the way the ruck's being blown.
Yeah, like Mark, we don't agree on a lot of things, but I couldn't agree more with you there, Marcus. Like, it's just we need something like a spark here, so like something out of the training ground.
What time? Emrys Papier feeds the scrum. It's dead solid. Would have liked some dominance there. Emrys Papier. Harold Forster always beats the first man. Another carry again. This is Jacques Duplessis. Here comes Emrys Papier. Here comes Marcel Coetzee.
Ref, come on now. Come on now.
Looks like Cardiff stolen the ball.
It's just
And
not
the
working.
penalty has gone against the Vodacom Bulls.
Yeah, I was shouting for come on now, you know. I saw a man off his feet, but the ball had probably already been stolen there. Yeah, it's just, you know, we want some X factor, you know. We want something off the training ground there, off the scrum, a set piece move. And now we just get pinned back. We've got momentum. What do we talk? We get momentum, we give away a penalty, we get pinned back into our own half. It's just so frustrating to watch, isn't it, Marcos?
It's incredibly frustrating, and we just are letting Cardiff off the hook. All the pressure we attempt to apply via our set piece or via our big one-off runners, and again, we just let them off the hook. We've managed to win the line-out. That's a brilliant contest. And set piece, other than scrum, perhaps, we look dominant. Our line-out's been good. We've competed well. Here goes Ulrich. It's the first real opportunity for him to put his head down. He gets the offload going, possibly an ill-advised offload. And it's gone forward.
And so Marcus, Tian van Veeren just wants the score. The score so is 13-3, 13-3 to Cardiff. Score, and the time is just under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Sir.
So that ill-advised offload from Ulrich Loco's forward, and again, it's those small errors that we just do not need. Those passes that don't go to handlers, offloads that go forward. It's just a culmination of errors that just keeps us out of the game, rather than Cardiff not letting us in the game. We keep ourselves out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Like with ball in hand, we are our own worst enemy, aren't we, Mark? You see the tackles made from both sides. 34 each, tackles missed.
Cardiff are falling off a lot of their tackles. They've missed 8.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier in the game, Marcus.
Now they win a scrum penalty against us, and that is not what you want to see from a Vodacom Bulls pack. To get dominated by Cardiff. Here comes Owen Lane, and they still have possession, but we'll go back for the penalty as soon as this phase ends. Cardiff looking to spread it. Bismarck makes a big shot in midfield, folds him like a travel map, but we're probably going to go back for the scrum penalty. Nope, they're going to go wide. Is there space? There's a beautiful pass out to Josh Adams. Can't let him get going. Big shot from Cornel Hendricks.
Yes, Corny.
Wow. Proper shot on Hallam Amos.
Yeah, for sure. If there's ever a tackle that can rejuvenise or, regalvanise the boys, those are the kind of shots, especially on a player like Heyman Amos, who's at 96 kg, 15.
Great shot into the ribs. Cornel Hendricks. Heapers. Cuts him like grass. Good shot. We'll go back for the penalty. All of that's null and void, and I'm sure they're going to kick this over and extend their lead, or get their lead back to 13 points. And you bank on a wily veteran like Reece Priestland to sink this one as well.
Yeah, of course you do. He's done it at the Millennium Stadium, the old Millennium Stadium, Cardiff Stadium, and he's done it in front of 90,000 people. I'm sure in front of 5,000 people, he won't find it too difficult, Marcos. Reece Priestland.
The big worry is that I just don't know what the answer is here. We just can't go. We just can't play. That's the bottom line right now. Yeah, there's another way to say it. We can't keep the ball in hand and go through the phases. It's just impossible for us.
At the moment we need something from the training ground. We need to be playing front, in terms of, when I say front row, we need to be playing, when we go through the phases, we need dynamism. We need something that's different, because we just look so pedantic. We look so the same. Flat, and it's just repetitive. It's like we've seen it before, and we see it against SA teams, but it's obviously not working up north, Marcos.
And our biggest issue is our inability to adapt to northern referees at breakdown. We keep giving away the same penalties of going off our feet, sealing off our ball on attack. Cardiff are competing heavily at the breakdown, and we can't secure our own ball. And again, like, that just doesn't help. The missed tackle, allowing Cardiff an extra 5 meters from their clearance. And look at this clearance kick. Puts the ball right back in our half. Pressure take from David Creel. Just compare that to our exit strategy a few phases ago. It's just chalk and cheese at the moment. Here comes Janko Swanepoel with the carry, looking to play our way out of our half. We go blindside. Bismarck du Plessis. He should get us over the advantage line. He doesn't. Again, just look out of ideas here. Emrys Papier is probably going to put this one in the sky. And again, we shouldn't be asking Emrys Papier to play this kind of game. I mean, he's an out-and-out attacking scrum half, and Reece Priestland wins it very easily. And Cardiff counter, and our defense has 6s and 7s here. And they're going to turn the corner. Here comes Owen Lane, puts boot to ball. Chris Smith must mark here, and he does. Yeah. Exceptional tracking back there from Chris Smith. Great coverage skills.
Yeah, they're just execution. It's just a game of execution at the moment. They're just executing their, their clearance kicks a lot better than we are. They're just the better team at the moment, Marcus, to be dead honest with you. They just really are the better team all round. Scrum time, set piece time, loose play. And when they're box kicking, they just got better chase lines. When we box kicking, they are contesting better. It's just unlike us.
And they're identifying and exploiting the space much better than we are. Now they have a line out, and we've competed well at line out time. I'd like to see us do it again. We do, but they come down with it. Surely they're not going to get a rolling maul going against the Vodacom Bulls pack.
You see my Tansman on the side. He's been quiet, hasn't he, Marcus?
He's been very quiet.
Very quiet.
Uncharacteristically quiet. Here come Cardiff. Get that backline going, and it's a beautiful
Over that boy.
shot from Cornel Hendricks to stifle it. And I mean, they're completely off their feet, sealing off that breakdown, but it's not called. Here they go again. Oh, hip the big tight head prop.
Well done, Janku.
Janku Swanepoel rolls up his sleeves. Priestland. Turnbull. Good shot on him by Ulrich Lowe, who's also been very quiet. Here come Cardiff. We've driven them back a little bit, which is good. Here comes Myhel, beats the first tackle, gets a half break. Now they're on their front foot. They're up for the boot. Kurt Jorgensen must counter here. There he goes. Here comes Kurt Jorgensen. Can't quite get going, but we keep our ball. Bismarck gets driven backwards. Ball's popped out. Chris Smith clears, and it's very helter-skelter from the Vodacom Bulls, but it's a good kick from Chris Smith. Amos. Adams. Up to the halfway line now. Sheep holds onto him, and the ball, it looks like it's a knock-on. Oh, Cornel Hendricks is getting...
Oh, this
Marosh
is-
Tambwe, there's a massive fight now. Marosh Tambwe is getting smashed off that ball. Sheep's in there. This could get ugly very quickly.
Get in there, sheep.
Yeah, we want to see at least win the fight, boys.
Come on.
Harold Forster's angry. Harold Forster's very... And he's driven Ray Lilo about 5 meters back. Definitely won this fight. Definitely won the fight, okay?
Yeah,
I reckon.
definitely.
Well done,
Marcus.
boys. Ding, ding, ding.
And just remember to watch Tyson Fury vs. Deontay Wilder later.
Oh,
What was it?
100%. I just want to have another look at it, at what made them so angry. Marosh Tambwe.
Marosh Tambwe just manhandles Josh Adams.
I mean, there's nothing dangerous, but Adams gets a fly in his bonnet about it. And Harold Forster's not happy.
Yeah, and Adams just comes from behind. Come on, Adams. Come on, face your man head on. Coming in from behind.
But knowing these refs, they're probably going to give a red card for this. It's a little bit of argy-bargy. We all move on, I reckon.
And you know, keep the comments coming in. Renier Kruger saying, "Come on, Bella, break her." Yeah, we must. At least we must break them. But the game is still tight. If we can get some points on the board, you know, get a converted try just before the half, that'll be unbelievable. We go in with a nice win behind our backs, just like Josh Adams did behind Marosh Tambwe, but with his biscuit behind Marosh Tambwe's back. Captain's Union with the ref.
You can just see this ref so badly wants to give the cheese against the Vodacom Bulls any opportunity. Probably why he's wearing that shirt. But we may be going back for a penalty against Cardiff here for Josh Adams' cowardly attack from behind on Marosh Tambwe.
Yeah, face your man head on.
Another look at it. I mean, there wasn't much in it. He got very upset over nothing. Marosh Tambwe, I mean, there's nothing
there's
in
nothing
that.
there, and he just goes absolutely berserk,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
And then Ray Lilo tries to get involved, and Harold Forster drives him into the stands. I'd love to see Harold Forster just drive number 13 back at a rate of knots. There's really nothing in that. Milks it for all it's worth.
Obviously, Marosh Tambwe, you know, he knows. You see, he's such a clever player. He knows. Like, he's picked him up. He's like, okay, cool, I'm just going to let you go. Nice and slow. And then Josh Adams just loses his absolute mind for no reason
We'll
whatsoever.
take it. And with 2 minutes to go on the clock, we still find ourselves 13 points down, but we have a line out in Cardiff territory, and you have to believe if we want to really get ourselves back into this game, a try is required.
Let's go, Bella. Come on. And no, Michael, not all the teams up there are better than us. Trust me that now.
Here comes Marcel Coetzee off the back of the small.
It's just about adapting, sir.
Ambrose Papier. This is a good search from the Vodacom Bulls. That's, I mean,
like, that was like half a second.
penalty's been given to Cardiff and awarded to Cardiff, and it's just immediately, it's just so quick. Over the ball, not even a second is the Cardiff number 7, Will Boyd, over that ball, and the penalty's given. I mean, it's how are you supposed to play attacking rugby with an interpretation of the breakdown like this? I really need someone to explain that to me. If you at home want to win a Vodacom Bulls jersey, comment and share the post, and please explain to me how any team is supposed to play attacking rugby if all the rub of the green is given to the defensive team.
Yeah,
If we're going to blow for ceiling off, if we're going to allow pilfers or jackals to get over the ball and win penalties within a second, how are we supposed to play any form of attacking rugby?
yeah, I want to agree with you. It's just adaptations of the laws. It's just so different to how we see the game, isn't it, Marcus, up north?
Cardiff win the line out. They're going to the Mall. The Mall hasn't really worked for them. in the first half, but now they're getting some momentum. The way the maul's being reffed, we should be able to just run around the back of the maul and smash the carrier. Here come Cardiff again. Adams gets
Come on,
smoked.
surely now. He was there. You see?
Yeah. Here come Cardiff again with another surge. Again, I mean, every single ruck, if you're going to blow that, if you're going to have that kind of strict refereeing, every single ruck you can find a penalty here. From either side. Here come Cardiff again, going through phase, not making too much headway at this stage. Just get over the ball. It only requires 1 second.
Not even. Split.
Not even. Split second. Just get over it. Here comes Turnbull, gets held up, and Bismarck's over it.
Thank you.
And yeah, that'll be the end of the half. And yeah, managed to survive a late surge from Cardiff, but going into the half, 13 points down is certainly not the way the Vodacom Bulls would have wanted to kick things off in their third round of Vodacom URC. At halftime, the score is 16-3 in favor of Cardiff. We'll see you guys in a bit for the second half.